guys, and welcome to Faith Unfiltered with Nancy. I am yours truly. I don't know whether to call myself the host of this channel or what, but nonetheless, welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. I just want to start off by thanking so many of you guys that gave me such positive feedback on my channel launch. If you're not aware, I launched my channel on Friday. I uploaded my first video. If you have not checked it out, go and check it out. It's an intro video telling you guys about my channel, what it's all about, so I highly recommend that you check it out. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for showing the love and the support. It really reassures me that I made a really good decision by finally deciding to start the channel. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce this video. So today I'm going to be speaking about my faith journey up until now. I think I'm going to divide this into two parts because it's quite a long story from when I started my faith journey up until where I am now. So I think today will be part one, and I'll be telling you guys about how I met Christ and where my journey first began. So yeah, getting right into that, guys, I would say my journey with spirituality as a whole began when I was around 11 or 12 years old. Around that time I started getting sick, started having convulsions. I was I would just collapse and have seizures and all of those things, and I started going in and out of hospital, and the doctors would run multiple tests and they would not find the root cause of my condition or what I was going through. And I think for about a year or so that persisted like that, me having to constantly be taken to hospital for various issues, and not finding what the cause of those problems were. I then began to have nightmares. I began to see things, and the thing is, I would dream something and it would come to pass and stuff like that, and I was just like freaked out, and my life at that point just started becoming so chaotic. And yeah, so that went on for about a year, and it just kept getting worse and worse, and it was just like becoming more and more frequent. I usually tell a joke with the people that I've told the story. I said it got so bad, my convulsions and my shaking got so bad that I was shaking constantly. Obviously there were moments where it would get like really bad, looked like a seizure or something like that, but like I was constantly shaking to the point where my mom, if she was giving me water or juice or something, she wouldn't fill up the glass so that I wouldn't like spill the contents on myself or something like that. So this went on for about a year, and without any clear solution. I was seeing a psychologist, I was going from doctor to doctor, and there were like so many things just happening. And I think my mom took counsel of family members to go and see a traditional healer. Those of you who don't know, I'm originally from Botswana. I've been living in South Africa for the past for more than a decade now, but I was born and slightly bred in Botswana. So we went back home and we saw a traditional healer that side, or rather a sangoma that side. And the solution or the answer that we got was that she told us, I was called to be a sangoma, and I had to, like, this is how the calling manifests itself, and I have to accept the calling and get initiated, or else I'm either gonna go crazy or I'm going to die. And you can imagine being around 12, being presented with that ultimatum. It was pretty scary to say the least. And I remember just feeling so, it was traumatizing, I don't want to lie, hearing all of that stuff, and hearing her tell me her story about how she was called and how it was sort of like in a similar manner, and basically just saying that that's how the gift or the calling manifests itself, and unless you say yes to it, you'll either go mad or you will die. And it was really, really scary to hear. You know, she was even telling me like the stories of her having to quit her job and all of that stuff, and like actually focus on her calling and stuff. It was like, is this what's gonna happen to me? Like, are you guys serious right now? You know, yeah. So then I remember my mom just like also sort of like freaking out and asking questions like, you know, I know things like this happen, but like, she's so young, and you know, why is this happening? And you know, she was like, it happens when it happens, and it just goes, you know, from person to person. It is how it is. And I was just, yo, guys. Anyways, because I was about to complete my grade 7, you know, they decided that I would get initiated the following year, like officially get initiated and stuff. And then in the meantime, I got like some herbs and stuff to you know, control the convulsions and stuff, because I was told that those were as a result of like my ancestors wanting to communicate with me and all of those things, right? And yeah, it was pretty scary to hear that and stuff. And then I went off to high school, and the high school that I went on to was a boarding school, which was around 500 kilometers or so away from where my mother stayed. So I then went, you know, having these problems still, having these nightmares, seeing all of these things, having some of them like come true. Just, you know, it felt like I was just going on this downward spiral and I was going mad. And that just kind of fed into that to say, okay, maybe this lady is correct. I feel myself going mad. I feel myself slipping away. Maybe I just need to get, you know, this done with, and then everything in my life will then be okay and stuff like that. So I remember there was a church that used to come and hold services in our hostel like every other Sunday. So, you know, I was really curious and stuff, and I decided to go and check it out. Some people had invited me there before, but you know, I was like, okay. Then I finally decided to go and check it out and stuff. And you know, I had obviously heard of God and stuff before, but you know, hearing about Jesus Christ, hearing about a man who died for my sins so that I can be free or live freely, it just it sounded so enticing, and it sounded like such a great deal, if I can put it like that. You know, they were speaking about a savior that delivers, that heals and stuff. And at that moment in my life, I felt trapped. I felt like I was bound, because I felt so forced into something that I did not want to do. So at that moment, everything just sounded so appealing, and I made a decision. I was like, okay, if this God, this Jesus heals and he delivers, and you know, he has died so that I can be freed and all of that stuff, I want in on this. I want in on this. So I remember that holiday, going back home and then telling my mom, like, Mom, I don't want to go through with the initiation anymore. I don't want to proceed, because I have now decided that you know, I've decided that Jesus is my personal Lord and Savior, and this is the path that I want to take, you know. And I remember just my mom freaking out, because I think for her, she was at that breaking point where it felt like I had no solutions in my life. She could see me suffering and going through all of these things, and it was like, you know, you're making a mistake and stuff, you don't know what's going on and everything like that. You must keep in mind, guys, I'm like 13 years old now, so I'm really just not mature at all to be, you know, grappling with these questions of spirituality at that age and stuff. So I remember just telling her, you know, whatever happens, but this is the decision that I've made, and I felt such a great conviction to make that decision for myself. So and it felt like, you know, a sense of control that I sort of now had in my life, in this area of my life, because it just felt like the way that it was presented to me, to say, you know, you have no choice in the matter, I felt really suffocated. I felt really trapped. And so I think that making that decision gave me a sense of control in terms of that area of my life and stuff. So I made that decision, and you know, my mom and I argued and stuff, but I was really firm in my decision, and I just continued in that way. So then I went back to school, and I you know, things didn't just stop. Like, I still, you know, had my problems and all of those things, and you know, I was going to church regularly. I was quite active and stuff like that. And you know, after months of doing that, of, you know, just engaging and being there, and you know, yeah, I just felt like, when is this Jesus gonna reach back, you know, because I'm still going through the same things that I was going through before I met this Christ. Like, what is going on, right? And I then, you know, fell into depression, got stressed and stuff, and I started losing a lot of weight and everything. And my mom noticed what I was going through and stuff, and she decided that it would be better for me to move back home. So I moved back home, and I started seeing my psychologist regularly again. And you know, just doing that, I didn't stop going to church. At that time, my mom wasn't really a church going person, but you know, I just decided to, you know, start going to church and stuff. And within a couple of months, my mom got a job opportunity somewhere else, and she decided to relocate for that year. And I then went and stayed in a boarding school once again. And I remember just, you know, I kept on with that routine. I was not in a good state of mind at all. I was still going through a lot. And you know, I get this call from my mom saying, you know, your brother called me. She says that sorry he says that his pastor was prophesying about you, and he wants to see you as soon as possible. And at that point in time, I hadn't really had an encounter with prophecy, other than, you know, through my traditional healer, or like through the dreams and stuff that I had had, or the things that I had seen, that I was told, you know, were part of the package, or were part of the Sangoma calling and stuff. So like, you know, hearing it in the context of church at that time, I had not experienced that before. So my mom was like, you know, just let's just go and hear what is being said. And you know, so we decided to travel home and go and visit this church and stuff. And oh my goodness, guys, I felt like the Samaritan woman at that point. You know, here is this man telling me all about my life through a different lens, you know, a lens of purpose, of me being loved by God, being chosen by God. And you know, it gave my life a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, outside of just feeling like I was born into an obligation. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm just trying to sort of put you in my head at that moment, or during that time. It was an amazing experience. I felt like this man knew me even more than I knew myself at that point. And I was at the verge of just, you know, letting everything go in terms of reaching out spiritually and stuff like that. And it felt like, okay, this is actually God reaching back. And I think my relationship, I would say, with God really got established at that moment, where I felt like, okay, maybe this God does answer prayers, maybe he is listening and stuff like that. You know, I got prayed for and stuff. A lot of the things that were happening to me were explained. You know, all of that stuff was just, you know, laid out on the table and everything like that. And I just got this sense of peace, like a burden had been lifted off of me. I felt like I could live a normal life outside of having this obligation that I don't even understand that much. You know, at that age, you have to remember I'm still like 13. I'm 13 years old at this point. So I'm like, okay, you know, all of this makes sense. My life seems to make sense now, and it just reassured me in terms of my decision to halt my initiation process and stuff. And you know, it's not like my life became rainbows and sunshine after that. I then went on to encounter other problems, you know, like going through depression and all of those things, being suicidal and all of that stuff, which I will cover in my part 2. But I would say at that moment I just felt you know, I felt like for the first time in my life there was some form of you know, purpose outside of just me you know, having to be this person or having to step into these huge shoes that I don't even know how to fill and stuff. And yeah, I just felt this internal peace. I felt connected to God at that point. I felt like, okay, God hears me, He answers my prayers, and I will not die, I will not go mad. You know, God is with me. And that fear that I had harbored ever since, you know, hearing all about that stuff, hearing about this calling and stuff, sort of melted away. I felt protected, I felt loved, I felt covered, and yeah, you know, I wasn't scared anymore for the future or how my life would turn out. I just yeah. I just had this peace. I just had this peace, and that's where my faith journey started. That's how I met Christ. That's how my relationship with God really started. And like I said, it did not just become all, you know, rainbows and sunshine and stuff moving forward, but that's how it started. And I think I'll stop here for this video. Hold on for part 2, guys, part 2. It was a really interesting experience. You know, I think one of these days I should have my mom come in and tell like her perspective, or like the story from her side and how she was feeling going through that and experiencing that and stuff. So yeah, it also, I think, helped her rekindle her relationship with God as well. So it was a weird experience, but it led us to God nonetheless. So yeah. So yeah, guys, that's all for me in terms of this video. Let me know how your faith journey started. Like, I want to know, guys, like, how did you meet Christ? How did you meet God? If you have started your faith journey, just drop it in the comment section and let's engage, guys. How did you meet Christ? Like, what was your first experience with Christ like? You know, talk to me, guys. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching all the way up until the end of this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share, and most of all, guys, subscribe so that you can see more content. Click on that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. Thank you so much, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Or